Hi, everybody. Ross and My Hammers 11. Hope you're all safe and well. That's what's important at the moment. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell icon so you may do anytime we put new content on. As always, I'd like to thank our channel sponsors, Untuck It. Check them out in the description below. Today's guest is another ex-hammer. I think we've done over 50 ex-hammers since we started the channel, which is mental. And probably about a 6th or 7th goalkeeper, I think, Roy, to be honest. It's Mr. Roy Carroll. How are you, Roy? How are we, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you very much. It's great to be on. Thanks for having me on.
Absolute pleasure. No, thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate you're really busy and stuff. And we said before, something about goalkeepers. I've reeled off about 6 or 7 goalkeepers we've had on the show. What is it with goalkeepers of being so lovely to me? What's the secret, Roy?
I don't know if it's down to you. I think it's just because we're not allowed on TV. Probably we're just mad in the head, all keepers. So we have to be doing this type of stuff. But it's great. It's just great to talk to the West Ham fans. I've been away from West Ham for a long time, so it'd be nice to talk about the old times and good memories and the bad memories as well.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, as I said, we spoke about the mad ones, and obviously we had Stephen on, bless him, and he'd just been walking the dog, and he had this massive like Russian hat on, he hadn't taken it off, bless him. No, but it's all good. And how have you been in general in this sort of weird world we live in at the moment?
Yeah, it's been difficult for everyone. Like for me, I've opened a goalkeeping school in Northern Ireland, and I think it's more difficult for the kids. The kids just want to get out and train and play football, and it's been locked down for quite a while, and it looks like it's going to be locked down over here for probably till it said the 5th of March, but I think it will be quite a bit longer over here. But as long as everybody's healthy and mentally stable enough, because sitting in the house is very difficult. And I've been working with a lot of people. I've been working with a club over here called FC Mindwell about mental awareness and trying to push it as much as I can over this part of the world, because it's very serious with the mental health side of the people's health.
Definitely, and I think actually it's accelerated the conversation, hasn't it? Really, over the last sort of 10, we get very deep at these things sometimes, Roy. But it's true that I think it has accelerated that, and what I think is great is the fact that there's lots of people who are coming out and saying, you know, it's good to chat and stuff, and if they're feeling down, and obviously I'm sort of, you know, I like to get sort of active on Facebook and Twitter, and you know, you see amongst the West Ham lot, you know, we've got the West Ham supporters Facebook group that looks after everyone who wants a job, if they're after a job, and that's had a lot of good press over here with you know, like Ben Shepherd and people like that, right, doing little videos and stuff. And you're right, it's all about community and all about sort of, you know, if someone's feeling a bit down, someone's been in shit, having the balls to say, actually, I'm feeling a bit crap today. I mean, I felt crap last week, I'll be honest. Last week I felt the first week since for a year almost on and off, haven't we been on lockdown? I felt a bit shit, but I'm all right now. It's,
Kim, yeah, the only good thing that came out of it, it's taught me how to turn the computer on, because I'm doing a lot of work on computers now. So since last March, I've been doing a lot of Zoom chats and a lot of talks over the phone and over the laptop. But that's the only probably good thing that's came out of it, because I think most footballers just love to get out and watch football and get out and in the fresh air, because that's the biggest problem when you retire from football. You have so much time in your hands. So I think it's just this football and TV helps, but you still sit in the house. But as long as you can get out once or twice a day and try and exercise and keep your mind active, that's what I always try and say to people. But it's easy said than done, trust me. I've been there myself.
Could you? Yeah, tell me about it. It's and you're right. I think particularly with like, you know, yourself and obviously maybe guys who are very active as well. You know, obviously. Particularly here, obviously in the UK, you know, same as obviously Northern Ireland. Obviously, the golf courses are all shut as well, and a lot of ex-footballers play golf, and so they've been a bit sort of like scratching at the walls, it seems, a little bit, because that's one thing I've learned since doing this show is how much golf ex-footballers play. Are you a golfer, Roy?
I try, but I'm not the best. I get a bit angry when I'm not hitting the ball good enough, and I like getting out. Probably takes me about 5 hours, so it gets me out of the house to get around the golf course. But I'm not the best. I probably had 2 or 3 good shots in the whole round, and that's me. Like, so, but it's just get out, as you say. Like, but that's what I'm saying about ex-players getting out and trying to do things. But as you say, there's a lot of ex-players play golf, and you can't even go outside and in the fresh air play golf. It's crazy times at the moment, but we will get through it. We all get through it, trust.
We will get through it. And you know, circling back to West Ham, West Ham are doing all right at the moment, and so you know, it's so it's not like we've got to worry about them at the moment, which is lovely for a change.
That's the good thing. They've been doing really well in the top half, like, and I think they were fourth the other day, like.
Still are
fourth, yeah.
At the time of recording, Roy. So yes.
Yeah, still fourth at the moment. So hopefully it will last and get in European spot. Fingers crossed. But there's a lot of good teams. The Premier League's strange this season. I've watched the games this season. I hope clubs understand how much the supporters are worth to the club. And I think that's a big, massive thing when the fans come back, and hopefully the clubs can look after the supporters when they come back in.
Definitely, I think that's really another thing that's, you know, is obviously it's horrible what's happening in the world, but you know, as you said, sort of clubs' realization of the effect that the fans have on them is unquestionable. You know, it's a ghost town. It's like you know, at the moment in the stadiums, and it's just a cavernous bowl. So.
I played in Greece, and we played behind closed doors for certain reasons, and I played in that arena, like, with no fans, and it's not the best. It's not. It's very hard to get motivated. You think it's a friendly match and there's no fans there, but it's the Premier League. It's one of the best leagues in the world, and everybody's beating everybody. So it's a strange season this year, but anybody could win the league this year. I think probably the top 5-6 could win the league this season.
Yeah, definitely. We're one of them, Roy. That's it.
West Ham,
it's coming
West Ham's there. And West Ham's there as well.
We're doing a double this year. I don't know what you're right about, Roy. We're doing the double. But no, it is. And obviously for some people who, you know, we have loads of different viewers, you know, in terms of some experienced, I call them, older buggers, and less experienced, the younger ones. Now, Roy played 2000. He signed 2005, wasn't it, for us? I think it was in the summer, wasn't it? From release from Man. Why West Ham, Roy? What was the story between you signing for West Ham?
The story was, I think it was my last year at Manchester United, and West Ham was in the playoffs, and I think West Ham was interested to come because they were in the playoffs, and I think they got beat in the playoffs in 2004, I think it was. Yeah. And they never got promoted, so they put the hold on me coming at that time. And I think the next year I spoke to Manchester United, so Alex spoke to me on January to give me a new contract in 2005. And I had rumours that West Ham was interested in me again. There was other teams interested in me as well. I was 27 years old at the time, and I just wanted to play football. And where I'm from in Northern Ireland, that's all I wanted to be. It was a professional football and play as many games as I can. And the opportunity for me to go to West Ham was a massive situation for me. So I didn't sign a new contract at Manchester United, and I moved on to West Ham. Moved down that summer in 2005, signed a 3-year contract it was as well. So I was going to go down there and hopefully play games, because no matter if you're going to be bought in by the manager, you still have to perform and still train hard and train. And that's how I always say, like, so it was great for me to move to London. It was a big step for me because London's a big place. When I first went down, I thought to myself, geez, how am I going to drive around this part of the world? You know what I mean? But you get used to it. It's like everything in life, you get used to things, and enjoyed my time down there. It was good.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, obviously, you know, there were rumours the sort of season before, and then it didn't work out. And obviously, as you said, we got promoted in that summer, so it was like, you know, a lot of change at West Ham. You know, obviously moving up back into the Premier League, and you know, obviously Pards was in charge at the time. What was Pards like as how did he convince you to join West Ham? What did he do?
I just think for me, Adam Pardew, like, for me, brought me in at West Ham. It looked like manager really wanted me to come and play. Sure. And the way he spoke about the club, and you go down to West Ham, you see how massive the club supporters are, and the club is, and the history of the club as well was massive. And they always give young players a chance, and that's why I noticed at West Ham, give young players a chance. And Alan Pardew he can talk. Trust me, he could talk, and he I think it was in Portugal at the time with my family on holidays, and I agreed over the phone straight there and then went down and speak to him face to face, and that was it really. Signed the contract.
Fantastic. I love all those stories because it's so, because I think it's something that people don't see. It's like the other side. It's the personal side between yourself and the manager, and then convincing him. As I said on the phone, when you're on holiday in Portugal, taking a phone call from Pards and sorting out your job. It's a bizarre thing when you think about it in outside of football. I would never sort of take a jobs type thing, on the phone if I'm on holiday with my wife. God, ask a million questions.
But saying that, the first 5 minutes I was a bit wary. Like I probably thought it might have been someone from the radio station trying to take the mickey out of me, because it's happened to quite a few footballers. Like I've seen it a few times on social media. Footballers getting caught out think it's the manager on the phone, so you have to be careful. By the way,
yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, particularly even more so that 2006, not as bad as like now. I can imagine over the time. And obviously, yeah, he said moving down to the big smoke. Where was it? Was it Epping? You around Epping area?
I'll tell you the truth. I moved. I was renting a house in Chigwell, and I don't know if you remember the incident with the Spurs goal, and I didn't realise how close Spurs training ground was to Chigwell. So for the first year at West Ham, it was difficult because I was getting abused by the Spurs fans for the full year. Then I moved into a place called Thaden Boyce in Epping.
Beautiful. I love Thaden Bois as the posh.
Yeah. It's a nice area. Very nice Indians, by the way. Nice Indian food.
Yes,
beautiful.
The ocean, Blue Ocean, I think it's called.
Yeah, I said 100%. But I enjoy. It was really good. Like, but the first year was a bit harder taking on the chin, because there was quite a few Spurs fans around Chigwell at the time.
Yes,
never let me forget what happened against Spurs against Manchester United.
No, of course not. Yeah, double whammy. Yeah, exactly. Not just Spurs, but Spurs with a grudge. We've something to take the mickey out of with old Mendes, bless him. But and it's one of those things. Obviously, and you signed, and obviously you pretty much straight in the first team. And like, what was it like the first half of the season? You're in goal. You were number one, and it was going all well. And then unfortunately, you got injured, wasn't it? And then obviously that thing curtailed that season, which was extra frustrating because of how the season ended. Being in the Millennium Stadium again. As a goalkeeper, as a professional football player, it's the question I haven't really asked before. Actually, what's it like being injured? Like mentally, what's it like being injured for you? Because obviously, you came this whole thing of coming. You're going to come back and play first team football. You're number one. It's going well, and then you get injured. It must be like feel like it all comes crashing in, really, doesn't it? To be honest.
It did at the time, like, because for me as a young person, as I said before, when I left Manchester United, I wanted to just play football, and once I had that serious back injury, I think it was over nearly 10 months, 10 months I was out for, and that was taken away from me. I was a bit selfish because there's a lot of other players who had to retire from injury, but I was 27 years old and I wanted to play football, and the biggest difficulty for me was thinking about the good things, what can come out of it. You know what I mean? I was thinking about all the bad things, what could happen to me, and that what caused the downfall with me, because the depression started kicking in, and I couldn't handle it. And with this pandemic now, I'll go back to this pandemic. It's helped me now from that injury, because I understand we've been in this lockdown in and out all the time for the nearly 10 months, nearly 11 months. For me, when I was injured, I wasn't prepared for that. I never had a serious injury like that before. And I think a lot of footballers do go through what I went through. And once you're playing week in and week out, you're in the papers, the manager's speaking to you, everybody's having a bit of laugh and talking away. But once you get injured, the first couple of months is great because everybody's worried about you and talking to you. But slowly but surely, it gets less and less people speaking to you. Sure. And you're in the treatment room and you're just with the physio. You come in and you're basically away from the rest of the players until probably lunchtime. And but it's made me a stronger person. I'll tell you a wee story what happened to me back. Basically, when I first went to training at West Ham, going in the training ground, I was in a slight car crash. Someone hit the back of me, and that what might have caused the problem, my lower back. But I didn't realise how bad it was, and carried on like, and probably two weeks, maybe a month down the line, my back was getting worse and worse, and I wasn't even hardly training. I think my last 5-7 games, I didn't even train for a month. I didn't train for a month. I was just getting injections. And I was waking up in the morning, Sunday morning, couldn't even get out of bed because the pain was so bad. I had that disc problem, what was touching into my down my nerve, down my left leg, the whole way down my foot. So I don't know. It could have been the car accident, what just caused a slight problem in my lower back. But since I've moved to West Ham, I was playing injured the whole time until I went in for the operation, which was horrible feeling when you have to go in with a back injury as a goalkeeper, because it's the most important thing you need to have. Diving everywhere and picking the ball up and stuff. But as I said before, you learn from everything, and things happen for a reason, and it's made me a stronger person. The depression was very, very bad. It took me a long time to get out of the depression mood. It was nearly three years. I moved to Glasgow Rangers after West Ham, a team I used to support as a young lad, big Rangers fan, and moved up there. And I moved all over the place then, Derby County, then in Denmark, and came back and never had a club for 9 months. And I had to change my life around and move out of the country again, and moved to Greece and moved to Olympiacos, and my life just got back to normal again, as normal as I can as a goalkeeper.
Yeah, exactly. As a crazy goalkeeper, and also probably even more so the goalkeeper, because you have there's we talk about the famed sort of goalkeepers union, but there was a good bunch of keepers there, around the time, and if you're not training with them, you train separately, you train on your own, and then get involved at the end, but having that bond, because obviously you always have a tight bond with your goalkeeper coach, and I imagine the other goalkeepers you're training with, and then not having that, it's like that's like a security blanket. And I mean, we spoke, as I said to you, we had Jimmy on, and Jimmy was like, "Oh, me and Roy, it's like you and Jim, round it around our 195s and whatever." Anyway, but he was saying,
Jimmy, that's the thing I missed most was Stevie and Jimmy, because them characters, they're all characters.
That's what I mean,
we're like big kids training, and Ludo, the goalkeeping coach, was fantastic. Great goalkeeping coach. What a great guy he is. And that's the thing. Like, when you're not around that environment, it's hard to get to. But people will say, like, you only got injured, you were back. Like, but for me, I was just thinking, like, the worst things ever can happen. But when you miss that banter in front of Jimmy and Stephen Bywater, a lot of good stories. Like, so I will mention them sometime later on in my life.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on to them.
I know you probably want some stories, but I'm going to leave it until later on in my life.
you can give us, I know. Keep them for the book. Right,
I can't spell, so I need to get someone to do it for me, so it'll be all right.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Jimmy. Yes, Jimmy. Jimmy did. Yeah, he didn't dob you in at all, really, to be honest. But yeah, there does seem to be a sort of such a tight bond between goalkeepers, because I always thought, with goalkeepers, it's like, if you're the number two, obviously we had Ian Foyer, who was Ludo's number two, and I was like, what's it like being the number two? And it's like, are you sort of always hoping that the number one fucks up and then you take over? And it was like, no, it's a group, it's like a band of brothers, and you get that. Obviously we had Steve, we've had Jimmy, we've had loads of others, and it's sort of, it's my assumption that you're vying for the top spot, but it's almost like you want everyone to do well, because if the club does well, then everyone does well, and if the keepers are playing well, then 90% of the time the club are doing well if the keepers are playing well. So it's an integral part. And obviously we had a bit of a problem last year when Fabianski was injured and Roberto came in for 6 months and basically buggered up our season, lost Pellegrini his job. It's such a pivotal role the goalkeeper is. I didn't think I honestly appreciated it as much as I did when you haven't got a good goalkeeper, a solid goalkeeper between the sticks. It permeates the whole team, doesn't it, really?
It does. It's strange. We always say keep goalkeepers union. We stick together, and we're all a one team. Like, but of course, everybody wants to play. But I know some keepers who are happy to be sitting on the bench. But for me personally, you're fighting for that number one spot, and I know Jimmy and Stephen was behind me fighting. What was keeping my concentrating, keeping me focused. That's what you need. You need a bit of competition as a goalkeeper. We've only got one position in the park, and that's in goals. Like, sometimes David James might have played up front for Man City, so that's a different story. Like, Man City, remember in the Premier League when he came on as the sub. But for me, it's just where we get on. Over my career, probably a couple of keepers that I couldn't get on with, because it was very hard to get to talking to them. Like, but that's life. I've been so many different clubs, and Roberto, you were talking about, who came at West Ham. I was with him at Olympiacos in Greece.
Of course you were, yeah.
and he was a hero out there. He was unbelievable, and the fans loved him out there. And it's a different environment he's playing in at West Ham. It's the Premier League. It's different standard of football.
Yeah.
He probably just had one of those 6 months at a club.
Yeah,
it's difficult for him, but I've watched him a few games, and he's always been like that. He always makes saves, and he parries everything, and he's a big keeper as well. Very big keeper. I didn't realise how big until he joined us from Benfica. He came in from Benfica, so he's played for big teams as well.
Yeah, it's just, as you said, it's sometimes you get it, don't you, where the player just doesn't work. It happens. It's the same as a job, isn't it? It's a job, isn't it? And so sometimes you might not work. It might just be the wrong. As you said, he hasn't changed the way he's played as a keeper in terms of parrying things. It just didn't work out. It was just, and I think it's very much a confidence thing as well, isn't it? When you have a keeper, and maybe also you've got to think defenders are used to maybe Fab would do less parrying, more catching, and there's all these things, but we didn't go down, so it's all right.
I know, but as you say, it's important having a good keeper now, and I think people are understanding that now. It's like Liverpool. Liverpool went out and bought a top class goalkeeper, and the next year they won the league. They won the Premier League because it's an important position. I know I'm a goalkeeper, so I'm trying to boost all these goalkeepers up at the moment.
It's true though. I think it's so true. I think also, who was I interviewing? I can't remember who it was. And we was talking about it might have been Jimmy again. Actually, God, we spoke.
Jimmy again.
Literally, all we do is all I can think about is Jimmy. He was saying, because obviously he's at Ipswich Town now, doing the goal, and he says where before it used to be you guys would train on your own, and then the team would be there, and then you might come together for a 5-a-side or a 7-a-side. Now it's not. You do a little bit of on your own, and it's more about integral. It's all about playing. Obviously, a lot of people play from the back now, and you have that, which scares the life out of me. I'll be honest. The way they pass it sort of out of the box and stuff, but it means it's becoming more integral within the team, rather than seen as a goalkeeper and the outfield players. Now they're sort of sweeper keepers and things like that. It's an integral part now of how a team moves forward, how a team sort of progresses. And as you said, Alisson and Man City, it's so important, and I think it'll be important for us soon. I think we've got maybe another 18 months, I reckon, with Fab. Bless him. And I think then it's...
How old is he now? I
think it's like 37, 36, 37, I want to say. But he's... and let's have a look. Here we go. We did it like... he's 35. All right, he's got a couple of years now, at least.
He's still got a few more years.
Don't worry. No problem.
He's been doing well. He's been doing well since he's moved to West Ham. I quite like him. He's very safe and safe keeper,
he's not like
as you say, last year when you missed him, it's probably it's a downfall for the players around, because you have centre halves you can trust the keeper, and the new keeper comes in. It takes a long time to get used to the new keeper. But come here, we keep boosting these keepers up, and we've been fantastic. But Jimmy's he's coaching at Ipswich now, and I was speaking to a lot of coaches in England, goalkeeping coaches, and I think most of them just do 80% of training with the ball at the feet, especially in a higher level, like in the Premier League. But I've played in all the leagues in England, and the lower you go down, is the further you kick the ball away, is the best. It's in League 1, League 2. But every level is different. Every level you play at is different. So you have to adapt to every situation as a goalkeeper, no matter what league you're playing in. And I think goalkeepers are... in life now, they have to adapt quicker than they can do, because there's so much TV cameras, so many pundits who wants to put goalkeepers down, no idea about goalkeeping situations, and they just saying things what they shouldn't be saying on TV, which I think I broke my TV about 10 times, so I had to get 10 new TVs, because sometimes you listen to him and says, how do you know anything about goalkeeping?
Shots fired there, Mr. Carroll. No, it's good. No, I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. It's a specialist position, and I think. But you are seeing more. I mean, obviously, Greeno's doing more now. He's doing more TV work now, and I think it's his position now that I think. I know JMO does quite a bit as well, doesn't he? Now he does a lot of the sort of the foreign TV channels JMO's doing, but it's I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. It's frustrating. It's the same. I think when defenders criticise, like if defenders who are pundits criticise goal scorers, and it's like, well, that wasn't your position. It's like, if you're a striker, then you can criticize he missed the ball, he wasn't in the right position, but you carry on with the set plays at the back and make sure that the goals are not staying in.
I think that's the day where I think that's the life we're living in now. You see, because I think everybody wants to put people down because they have it on social media and everything comes out. And I've seen a lot of young people who go on social media and see what's the supporters saying about me and all that. And for me personally, is trying to stay away from social media, because there's a lot of people out there who want to be in your shoes and want to try and put you down. And the young keeper at Southend, bless him, he retired from the pressure of people saying bad things about him in social media, which was he was going to be a really good goalkeeper. He was playing for England on the young age, up to 21, I think it was. And it happens in football. And for me, you have to be completely mentally, I was going to say mad in the head, but you have to be mentally strong to take this, take it, because you're all going to get it no matter what. There's football's trying to change things on social media and try and calm things down, but there's still people out there who try to just put you down as much as they can.
Definitely, and it's one of those positions. I always think goalkeepers is the ultimate position, because you have, as you said, a right back could misplace a pass and it's gone out for a throw on, and everyone's forgotten about it. But a goalkeeper makes a mistake and it's usually a goal, isn't it? And it's the thing. It's so pressured. It's the most pressured position. Cycling back to West Ham, Antonio missed 3 almost sitters against Crystal Palace, but we won 3-2, and we forget about that. But it's one of those things where
I haven't forgot about the FA Cup final though, when our right back threw the ball back to Liverpool and they scored about 30 seconds later.
God,
He should have threw it back to the keeper, and the game would have been over and we would have won the FA Cup. But come here. Keepers don't forget things. Trust me.
No. Things. No, that's the thing. Footballers don't forget things. It's like remember, we've had loads of people on, and it's like they it's almost like an encyclopedic mind of all the games. And as you said, obviously the FA Cup. Unfortunately, obviously Shaq came in. You were still injured. You were injured. Scaloni, Lionel Scaloni. We've had people like Conch on. We've had Conch on, and we've had like Matty on, and we talked to him about the FA Cup. He's like, no, don't talk to me about that.
Leave it. Forget about it. But we had a good. My first year at West Ham, I think we had a good season. We got promoted from the Championship, and we were the boys. When I came in, they were still on the high. Like, you know what I mean? It was a fantastic group of lads we had. Fantastic group of lads. Teddy Sheringham was there, who was so experienced. Hey, and I come in training in the morning, and Teddy's coming out of the gym, just finishes warm up before he goes out in the training pitch, and that's what you call dedication. I think he was 42 when he was at West Ham.
Something like that. Yeah,
it's that's what young players need to see and say, like, it's all about hard work as well. It's not just all about the glory on the pitch. It's what you do in between. And when you seen Teddy Sheringham doing that, and Bobby Somore, what a great professional he was, and look at Mark Noble. He was a young lad when I was West Ham, and he's still at West Ham. Yeah. What a great ambassador for West Ham. And he's still doing the job. Still doing the job. And you're right, there was a great balance, I think, there. You had these sort of you had a lot of youngsters in there, sort of the Nigeria Cokers and these sort of young, and then you had sort of experience, as you said, sort of like people like Teddy and things like dabbled in. It was a nice mix. And I think you had, as you said, you had Pards there, love him or hate him. Yeah, Pards there, God bless him. And it was just like, it was a good time. It was a great time to be a West Ham fan. We have these sort of, it's like every club, as you said, you're a big Rangers fan, and obviously now you're having a great time with Stevie G. See, that's what I mean. Now you don't mind Steven Gerrard now. I know. It happens. Football goes around in a big circle.
It does.
You see football teams struggle for quite a while and they come back. Look at Juventus in Italy. They got relegated the whole way down to the bottom league, and they won the league, 3 or 4 times in a row now in Italy. Yeah. So it is a big circle, and it's all about patience and rebuilding. But the problem in the Premier League, you're not going to have time to rebuild. No. Because the money's so big in football now that managers, they don't even call them managers now, they call them head coaches. So that's what I, if you become a manager, you want to be mostly in control of the club, but you don't, you just coach and put the team out on a Saturday, and if you lose 3, 4 games in a row, you get sacked.
Yeah, like Frank, isn't it? Like Frank the other day. Poor old Frank. But that's
Sad.
what I mean,
Sad.
it's. I was crying in my cornflakes.
I thought you would have been.
But Pards. I mean, to be honest, out of all the managers, because so obviously I'm sort of the stadium DJ at West Ham. So for about, I've done it for like 20 years. Like played all the music. So when you used to walk out to Bubbles, that was me. And he's the only manager, I think, in 20 seasons I've done it, who cared what music we played. Literally, we'd go into his little office, that little crappy office in the bowling, and he'd be like, "Russ, so Russ, Jeremy, what are we doing today? What are we playing today?" It's like, okay, he like really, because as I said, he tried to manage. He was his club, and so there was something to be said about that. And he did have a few funny ideas. I give him that. He'd come back from Florida, and he'd been to SeaWorld, and there's a few ideas he tried to, which we all said.
SeaWorld.
Exactly. For Shamu the killer whale, it'd work, the Shamu show, but I don't think it'd work at Upton Park very well. And I remember once. Go on, you was going to say.
No, I was going to say, like, he's some boy. Hey, he did well the first season. I thought he did. He tried to build a team, and the second year it didn't kick in for him. The second year, and it didn't last long for him. The second season, but for me, he put a lot of work in to get the team up from the Championship. But the thing is, behind the scenes, it's like me playing for Northern Ireland. Over here, you had a guy called Michael O'Neill. He was a Northern Ireland manager. And the first, he signed a contract, and the first 2 years, we hardly never won a game. But you could see what was happening as a player behind the scenes. So, but we all thought he was going to get sacked because we didn't win many games. But he ended up signing another contract for another 2 years for another campaign. And in 2016, we ended up a small country like Northern Ireland making a major tournament in Euros. 2016 was amazing. But as I said before, come here, Pardew's been around for a long time. Like, he knows the game, and I don't know where he is now. Is he in Holland still or somewhere?
I think he's at, I want to say, CSK Sofia, I believe, as technical director. He was at Den Haag. He was at Den Haag, was he, or something like that? And now he's at, I'm pretty sure he's at Sofia now.
So he's been around. He's been around in different clubs, like, you know what I mean. You see managers moving so quick now, and I always say to people now, you never get a player who spends 10 years at the club anymore. Not back in the days. Because the managers don't last that long anymore anyhow. So the new manager comes in, he wants his own players in, and that's the problem. So especially when I played in the likes of I ended up playing at Notts County. I ended up playing Notts County before I retired in 2016 it was. And I had seven managers in 2 years. You know what I mean? And that was in League Two at the time. So a young player coming through thinking, am I going to get picked by this manager? There's a lot. They put themselves under pressure because when a new manager comes in, they think, I'm not going to get picked for the next game or whatever, and that's a big problem.
Yeah, because obviously Pards was in, and then obviously Pards left, and Curbs was there, and you were still there. And as you said, like when a new manager comes in, it must be like, because you was Pardew's man, Pardew bought what did you in, and then you got someone else. You're like, fucking hell, okay, this is a bit different now, isn't it? I think he'd been injured as well.
Curbs was his own man, like he was a different guy I ever came across, like, you know what I mean. But he had his own plans, you know what I mean. I'm not silly. I knew myself. Like that was my career finish at West Ham, but I was going through a bad time at the time anyhow, and I didn't blame Curbs or nobody at West Ham, but I had really bad problems with people never seen because I never showed. I never showed it. That was my problem. I never come out and spoke about it. I was what a character Roy is. He has a bit of, get him out. He's the life of the party. You know what I mean? He's the life of the party. He would come out. He'd be the first one there and the last one to leave, and that was my problem. And the depression didn't help as well when you're trying to forget things, and you just end up drinking. And I became I was an alcoholic, and I've stopped that now. I've been off the drink now for 10 years in June, so that's a blessing in disguise. But I'm still mad in the head. Like, if anybody knows me, like, I'm still mad in the head. I would never lose that madness as a goalkeeper.
It's just not alcohol induced now. It's just the actual Roy Carroll crazy. It's not.
Just fresh, just fresh air. Oxygen's get from my head. I'm just mental, like, bucking me.
That's the only drug you need, isn't it, mate? As long as you've got oxygen, you're right, man. That's it. But no, that's congratulations, man. That's really impressive. As you said, it just, it just spiraled, didn't it, from that back injury. Just as you said, everything came on, and you've moved down. You're in London. You're in Essex. You're near 195. You've got fucking Jimmy there, and it's just like everything added on. It's like bless him.
And Stevie Baywater.
Yeah,
the three amigos, the three
of you. God, yeah, exactly. Like it's just asking for trouble. Bless it. But,
I just think that's it's life. Like, you know what I mean? You get an injury, it's the way you bounce back. You people who can come back and get over quite quickly and mentally stronger than me. But there's people out there who, for me, I look out for the people who's loud and in the training session, because they're the ones who probably need help. You know what I mean? And I think, as I said before, I think things happen for a reason, and this thing happened to me, and it's made me the person I am today. Like, and trying to help people with mental awareness. And if I never had this problem myself, I don't think I would have been going down that route. So things do happen for a reason, and I'm still going and keep going strong. And I might come out of retirement. And play again, because it's only a football match. I was playing for a team in the lower leagues over here, like a Sunday. You call it in the Sunday league in England, but over here you play on a Saturday. And it came out. It's called the FC Mindwell. Like I said before, it's like a team with loads of lads who always had problems off the field. And it's just great to get out with a smile on your face. But only football's being played over here is elite football. So I might just come out of retirement and play for the next 3 months. I'm thinking about it, because I am missing the coaching. We can't do nothing. We can't do nothing over here at the moment. So I see what happens. But it's my life. It's in my blood. Football's in my blood. And when I left Northern Ireland when I was 16 years old, I haven't looked back. You know what I mean? And it's in my blood. People says, like, you're mad to keep going. I was playing part-time football for Linfield over here until I was 42, and I ruptured my ACL, and that's what stopped me from playing in the high league over here in Northern Ireland. But come here, I had a good life and enjoyed every minute of it, even the bads and the ups and downs. But come here, the biggest thing in life, I always say, you always get ups and downs. It's the way you come out of it, like, and remember the good memories, and don't forget the bad memories as well sometimes.
Of course. And as you said, all that stuff, all that sort of, all the bad stuff, all the bad memories, you're, as you said, as a goalkeeper, you're coaching school and stuff like that, and obviously talking to young lads and stuff like that, you can impart that information on, and it's like, unless you've lived it, I don't think you can truly do it. You know what I mean? You can read it. My wife, she's HR, she's a mental health, what is it, mental health first aider they call it, but she hasn't lived through depression like you have, so you've got an sort of not an empathy, but you've got that sort of the real to the heart of what it means, and you can sort of see the sort of the signs. You said that the loud ones usually are the ones who are usually overcompensating for the problems.
Because I see it that way, because I was the exact same as that, you see. But everybody's got different scenarios. Like, that's the thing. But come here, I did really enjoy my time at West Ham. Especially when the music blowing coming out, like, and then bubbles are blowing everywhere. Like, I don't know what it's like now. I have a few friends who went over the new stadium, and they said it's not the same. It's not the same.
Different.
Like,
it's different, isn't it? I think it's indicative, and that's what I say. It's indicative of modern football. I mean, the old girl, bless her, Upton Park was falling apart. It was falling apart, and it would have taken some serious investment. It's for the next generation. It's horrible to think, but it's not for the generation who are the 60, 70-year-olds now. It's the ones who are like my daughter, who's 8 and stuff. And it isn't impressive. I mean, it's impressive when everyone's there singing. And it's the last thing when people criticise if the team are playing well, which is typically, obviously, that we're playing well. There's no fucker there, but it is just the West Ham way.
It could be. You never know. It could be. That's why some players take it different ways, like, and for me, when you played at West Ham, supporters are fantastic when you're doing well. Of course, I think most clubs are the same. I played in Olympiacos, and trust me, hey, if you lose out there, they don't shout at you. They do a lot of other things, like, you know what I mean. So it's a different. I've learned playing out in Greece how not to lose a game.
yeah. I can imagine. Right. Anyway, let's do this Hammers 11 because I love chatting to you. But people, this is what people. Some people will, this is what they like to know. So obviously, everyone we've had on the channel, bar 3 people. Actually, Nigel Riocoka was one of them. He didn't give an 11. He copped out. But everyone else, and Harry Redknapp didn't. But everyone else, and Ian Bishop, everyone else. Only three. I promise you. Gave them the Hammers 11. So the idea is you pick a team of the players that you were around to play with. So obviously those 2 seasons, you can obviously put yourself in goal, get those appearances back up. It's no problem at all. So you can.
Do I not have to put myself in goals?
You don't have to, man.
If I don't play, how have I played with them players then?
Well, you don't have to put yourself in the team, but you might want to put Jimmy in or someone. It's players you've been around. Across those 2.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean. Look at you getting all narky at 40 minutes in. Anyway, so who would be in goal for the Carroll West Ham 11?
Right, come here. We were talking about Jimmy and Stevie for a long time now. I really like Jimmy. Jimmy was a quality keeper, trust me. I watched him in training sessions. Hopefully he doesn't mind me saying this, but if he was 6'5", he would have been playing in the Premier League for a long, long time. But it's just the height as a goalkeeper in the Premier League. They're looking for keepers over 6'2". But I'm going to go for Robert Green because he came in. Robert Green came in, and he did fantastic when he came in. He played many games for West Ham as well, over 200 or something, wasn't it? So he did well. I'm going to move on now to the two Welsh lads I started playing with at West Ham. Danny Gabardon.
Yes, of course. Let me find his name. There's Gabs. Good old Gabs.
And I'm going to go for James Collins.
Oh,
great guy. Great guy.
You're getting them both in, and that's the one thing about. You say social media. One good thing about lockdown is Danny Gabbard. He hasn't started doing them actually. He used to do little DJ sets on Instagram in his loft. It was brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
So I when I joined West Ham, they were 2 first boys I ever met because we were staying in a hotel. We were staying in a hotel just near Epping Forest, and that's how I got to know him so well. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. But I'm going to go for right back. He came in my second season at West Ham. Lucas Neal.
Oh yes,
playing right back.
Lucas Neal, good captain as well. By all accounts.
Good speaker on the pitch as well.
Yeah, and also that Australian accent just gives it a little bit more menace. I think just like it was crocodile.
He could have played for Northern Ireland. He's
could he?
Yeah, when I was speaking to him, but it was too late. He played for Australia. He's probably better than he's too late.
Yeah.
But really good guy, good professional as well. He was at Blackburn for a long time and a good professional. I think I would go for Paul. I always get the second struggling here. Konchesky.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, have I got it? Yes.
Yeah, you got it, Conch. Yeah.
What a great brilliant lad. What a brilliant lad.
Top guy, lovely guy, and obviously still involved in he does all the within the club now. He's the I think he calls him the coach. He's the loan manager, so he goes around all the clubs where West Ham kids are on loan and checks in on them. So top bloke, Conch. I love him. I love Conch. Yeah. And he did say that he didn't think that goal that he didn't mean to score that goal in the FA Cup final.
Did he end up saying? I thought he did.
He said, I did. He said, if I scored it now, I'd have said yes, but in 2006, I didn't mean it. Anyway, so he says, anyway, go on, you carry on. Sorry, Roy, I interrupted you there.
I got cut off there. Sorry about that. Can you see me again?
Yeah, I can see you.
Yeah, I'm going to go for.
Oh, you're gonna. It's all right. Don't worry. I think your audio's dropped out. So maybe someone just called you. No. It was going so well. No, I can't hear you, Roy. Drop out and drop up and come back in again, and then that'd be all right. Literally last second. How frustrating it was going so well. We'll get Roy back in a minute. He'll come back in. As I said, anyone watching, obviously we've got the Iron Supporting Food Banks thing coming on very, very soon. Every fortnight we've got a quiz night. So make sure or a game show. So make sure you do that. Let's make sure. Let's get Roy. Oh, he's going to come back out. Let's remove Roy and see if he comes back in a minute. Is he? He's going to come back in. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He'll come back in. How exciting! Because we just got to Paul Konchesky, so we still had the rest of the team. We had the midfield and the strikers. We carry on. There we go. We carry on. He's going to be back on it. We carry. Here he is.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go. It's just easy going out. It's the IT in it. Just switch you off, switch back on again.
It's living in Northern Ireland. The reception's bad down this part of the world.
Right. We've done well for 44 minutes without no drop out. Right, okay. Let's go to midfield then. Go on, let's carry on, man.
I'm going to go for the Israeli and Yossi Benayoun.
Oh, what
right
great
side.
Play. Yeah,
right
loved Yossi. Loved Yossi. Great player. Nothing of him. He looked like he was a fair wind would have blown him over. But I think Conch said he loved a bit of loved the tackle. Bless him. But yeah, it's a great player. Great player.
Left side, I'm going to go for Matthew Ellington.
Yes, love Matty.
Great left foot.
Old school. Yeah, he was like one of those old school wingers in it. Like nowadays they're all inverted, aren't they? Left on the right on the left. He was. I liked him. I loved Matty Effington. Right, okay, Matty's in. Go on, and who's going to be in the centres then?
I'm going to go for Mark Noble. What he's done at West Ham, a young lad at West Ham at the time, but he was, you knew he was going to be a big player for West Ham for the future.
Did you, as a professional, as a seasoned professional, when these youngsters come in, can you tell? Can you say, oh, he's something about this kid? He's going to be good, or he's I don't know about him.
Yeah, no, you've seen it. Like he was so comfortable, he was so confident in himself, and sure. I think that was the main thing. What he had was being confident in himself in the right way, not in a bad way, in the right way. And the professionalism was very, very good from him. And he always wanted the ball, even from the big players around him. He always wants to get involved in the game, which you could see as a young age. Like how many years he's been there for a long, long time now. Hey?
Well, even if 2006, that's 15 years. So 500 odd games. Yeah, amazing.
And I'm going to go for Nigel Reo-Coker. Really, really powerful midfield player.
Yeah,
powerful player midfield.
Yeah, I mean he's doing stuff. He's obviously he's doing loads of stuff in America. He's in America at the moment on Nigers, but they all seem to be shackers over there as well. Reo-Coker. He was. A young lad being captain and stuff as well. I think it was tough on him. I think a little bit, Nigel, to be fair. Well, you said Mark was confident in the right reasons. I think the fans' perception was Nigel was confident for the wrong reasons, type of thing. But it was, it worked. It worked. As I said, that season we went up, and obviously the 2006 season particularly was 05-06 was fantastic for us. And I like Nigel Reo-Coker. He was like. A real dynamic midfielder. Let's put Nigel in and make a note. Don't forget. Right, got it up front.
Jesus. Can I do another team with only strikers? No, I mean, I've got 5 strikers here. I've got 5 strikers. I can only use 2. But I was looking at Dean Ashton, who was a quality striker. I think it was the first year when he. Was it the first year I was there? Second year, I think it was when he came in.
The first year there, he was there.
I think he got a bad injury from England, and that's what he had to retire from, and I think that stopped him. But Dean Ashton, he would have been a great player. He would have been playing like Mark Noble playing in the Premier League for a long time. Like great touch, and he knew where the goal was as well. Even Teddy Sheringham, unbelievable attitude. He played a few games when I was there. At 42 years old, could see the game, pass the ball, but I think Bobby Zamora as well. They're the three boys I'm going to have on the bench. So the ones I'm going to go for, go for Tevez. Sitting behind Marlon Harewood, because it's the goals what he scored in the first season.
Yes,
was the goals he scored in the first season was he did really well. I think that was because the season before he did well, and he still had that high from the championship. But the second season, I think his goals disappeared a little bit more in the second season in the Premier League. Yeah. But for the first season in the Premier League, my first season at West Ham, he was scoring some goals.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I did. Yeah, he was great, Marlon. He was great, man. Tevez
was different class. Tevez just different class. For me personally, like when West Ham was struggling in the second season of my second season, he came in and just changed the goals he got. The goals he got was amazing.
Also, that must have been like, as a player, like all the hoo-ha about these two Argentinian internationals turning up. That must have been like, what's going on here? This is West Ham. We've got these two Argentine like internationals turning up. Must have been like weird, just weird.
Why not? Why not?
Why not? Yeah, it's football, isn't it?
Come here, West Ham have to realise they're a massive club. Like you live in a massive club, West Ham in London. A lot of players love London, and the situation, the catchment area, West Ham, and this new stadium they've got now. They're going to get, if they do well and get in Europe, you don't know what's going to happen next season.
No, it's a good point. That's a good point. Why not? It's football, isn't it? Football's a funny old game, as we all know. Roy, man, it's been lovely. I said 45 minutes. I'm 5 minutes over. I do apologise.
My phone went off. My thing went off anyhow, so it was my fault.
Okay, there we go. We'll call it a draw then. We'll call it a draw. Anyway, thank you so much. And obviously, thank you to everyone who's been watching or listening. Give it a like, give it a share. And for myself and from Roy, take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Come on, you irons. And we'll see you again very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Much love.